While my parents were conservative, I was ambitious. While my parents were calm, I was aggressive. While I was angry with everything, my parents were perfectly fine with a lot of imperfection around them.
My generation is a generation of fighters, of risk takers, of believers.
New India is not actually New India.
We are at a crossroad.
We caught in a dichotomy of old ways and new ways.
Thought it was heading towards a revolution and a lot of things would change. But again, the hopes have kind of turned into a little distant dream.
Don't turn into someone who's just asking to be fed information, rather go searching for it. I live for myself and I have my own space and my own little world.
I still remember my mother's parents. They used to live in Delhi, and my father was posted in Pune, and this is 1987-88, before the telecom revolution. And when my mother had to talk with her parents, we had to travel on a scooter. We used to travel about 20 kilometers, and for a 3-minute call, we had to wait for about an hour. I think the best part, the change that has happened in India is that, the telecom revolution. A small movement can actually become such a big movement only because of the fact that information is able to reach every nook and corner of the country.
My generation is the generation of communication. It's not just about communication in terms of the telecom and internet and satellite boom. It's also about communication with oneself and what one wants to do with his or her own life, and embracing themselves and embracing change.
There are a lot of uncomfortable topics on where technology helps me in a certain way. In the sense, like marriage has been an uncomfortable topic for me. Arranged marriage particularly has been an uncomfortable topic for me. So I never really directly interact with him on that basis. I don't sit down with him. But if he finds a particular profile interesting, he emails it to me. And then I email my response back to him.
I can't live without internet and mobile phones. Both. My life is literally dependent on these two things. Internet because it gives me everything.
Although I would definitely say information is a boon, we're not out there yet. We haven't come to a place where we know what to do with the information. We're half-baked, and it's better to be ignorant than half-baked.
India thrives on television, and therefore you will find TV channels being extremely powerful and popular in this part of the world.
The media exposure again, that has really altered the way people are living their lives.
So I think the changing times have always been reflected in our cinema, and vice versa, I would say.
When you see the portrayal of women in media changing, it's also a reflection of how women in the country and the society are undergoing a change. I think the portrayal of women from those meek and homemakers and who would take yellings from her mother-in-law and her husband, that is changing from someone who is also a woman of substance, who is also who has a strong say in her family, who is also contributing to not just good in her own family but also to the society and people around her.
The biggest change which has come about is in the culture where Indians have adapted to the Western culture, whether it's Western outfits or Western way of living.
For an outsider to understand the culture of India, if you talk about social media, Facebook is the wrong medium. Facebook is not somewhere where you actually find Indian culture amplified or even talked about. We are too modern. We don't talk Indian, we don't walk Indian, and we don't dress up Indian.
I know for most people, the virtual world is like to be completely disconnected from their real world.
On social medias, we project that we are one big happy family. It's like this advertisement world. Everyone in the advertisements are one big happy family.
According to Facebook, everybody's life is the happiest in this world. Nobody's perfect. So people feel jealous of each other.
It's a very scary thing because we tend to assume a lot when we see pictures. I think my friends are leading a very, very happy life because I see them with happy pictures all the time. But inside they could be rotting away.
We hate to project it, we don't show it off. It makes us weak. We never talk about how sad we are. We always talk and project how sad we were and how well we've come out of it. But we're always ashamed of our sad things.
There's this friend of mine who was crazy active on Facebook. So everything she did would go live on Facebook. So if she went for a movie, she'd have a check-in. If she went for lunch, she'd have a check-in. She was going through the worst phase in her health ever. She had developed a tumor in her stomach and it was eating her away. We didn't even know that side of it existed.
We judge so much. We should upload and we write only how much we are capable of being judged.
Look at the media, it's a battle of aesthetics. It's about how sensationalized my case reporting is or my news reporting is. It's more about how much a reporter shouts.
It is very difficult to say whom to trust, whom not to trust.
You don't know what the truth is. A big broadcasting news channel is always associated with either a political party, which means they get to define the truth or they present the shades of truth the way they want it, or it is sponsored by a big businessman who decides to put out what is important to him. You're going to find it difficult to understand Indian media. Indian media is a reflection of us Indians. Indian media is as confused as the citizens of this country is.
I don't have any trusted source of information or anything. I don't think any one of us has, man. There is no Bible or Gita for information today in our life.
I'm not a fan of sensationalism, which is what most media, whether India or global, is actually involved in. There is a lot of emphasis on bringing out the sad story.
I don't need to know how bad a world that we live in. That is what media is doing today. It's not a positive media. Media doesn't give me confidence that I'm living in a great country. Media doesn't give me the confidence that my daughter will be safe tomorrow.
We should take everything with a pinch of salt. An overtly positive picture is a lie as well, and an overtly negative picture is not a good thing. Nothing is complete. Everything has good, bad, positives, negatives. So for every sexist male in the country, you do have a genuine man as well. I mean, you have beautiful people. You have people who are welcoming you to their houses. Personally, I have a bone to pick with the media when it comes to women. When the incident happened in Delhi on December 16th, 2 years back, in 2012, there was a lot of attention given to the girl by naming her in the wrong ways. I took personal offense when one channel called her Amanat. Amanat in Hindi means wealth or property, and another channel called her Nirbhay, which means fearless. Even if you twist it around to say wealth held in trust or something so precious to us, it only reiterates the notion that you have the gumption to hold women as property, which is not done. You have a duty to protect her, yes, but she's not property, right? And the other thing, when they called her fearless, how can we say that? We let this happen. We put a person at the altar. We sacrificed a goat at the altar, and we had the guts to call that fearless. It's just the wrongest thing we could do to her memory.
Media in India is very much free to say or express whatever they want to.
I think media in India was more liberal than it is right now. I think over the years we have lost the sense to laugh at our own jokes and laugh at our own selves.
In India, people are free to express what they want, but we are also prepared to face the consequences. So much so that cops can come and catch you and put you behind bars. So you better watch out what you talk, because the big daddy is watching you.
Increasingly, it's becoming a case of of people considering themselves as the torchbearers of how things should be, what is right and what is not, dictating things that should and should not be said. When there is a situation where your understanding of your own culture is questioned or threatened, then instinctively there is this lashing out, and there are protests.
Honesty has always its price.
The best example that I can give you is that of this young girl who had posted a comment, a political party on her personal Facebook page. Her uncle's house was vandalized by that political party.
The government, some parts of the government has written to organizations like Google and Facebook asking for information on user profiles.
That kind of makes you question that, why is my freedom of speech being questioned like this, or why is it coming under flag?
We being Indians, we living in a country experiencing democracy. We've read in our social books, we've read in our exams, we've written India is the biggest democracy in the world and got 10 out of 10 for that. But we actually don't know how useful it is.
That's freedom of expression is a very important thing.
I'm glad to be born in this era where I have a lot more freedom to voice my opinion, to say or to do things the way I want to.
Democracy, yes, it's controlled democracy.
We need to really relook at how we've been treating speech and our media, and we need to see whether we are doing justice to this fundamental right that each and every Indian has been bestowed upon.